Hey all, I am PJiggles, and I'm doing this so you don't have to. Even though you don't have to do this in the first place. I'm going to make a huge mistake. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U specifically is a very huge game. I mean, literally and figuratively, you know? This game is huge to a lot of people, including me! This game gave me my start on my YouTube channel, which is ultimately what I want to do with my life. And with the recent announcement of Smash Bros. 5, what better time than to do this? I am going to thank every single person in the end credits of this game, because this game wouldn't be possible without them. Why am I doing this? The way I'm gonna do this is I'm going to put my mouse on a name, like so, when I've said it, and then just go on like this so I don't get confused in which names I have and haven't done yet. Because this is gonna take a while, and after a while this is gonna be annoying as shit. Let's just get to it. Time to thank every single person in this credits, because they deserve to be thanked for their amazing feat. Okay, the big one, the starter. Thank you, Masahiro Sakurai. Also, I'm going to botch a lot of these names. Please excuse me, I'm not Japanese. And I don't watch anime. Thank you, Yoshito Higayuchi. Thank you, Tetsuya Akatsuyaka. Thank you, Norima Tanikawa. Thank you, Makoto Kiyakawa. Thank you, Tomohiro Kamiya. Thank you, Shino Matsumoto. Thank you, Kenji Anabuki. Thank you, Nobutaka Sakai. Thank you, Yorio Kuramoto. Thank you, Hidenori Yamauchi. Thank you, Hiroshi Satori. Thank you, Tashio Sato. Thank you, Hajime Nagao. Thank you, Yasuhiti Kobayashi. Thank you, Mitsuyo Kashiwagi. Thank you, Katoro Koshida. Thank you, Asana Inoki. Thank you, Ryo Yasaka. Thank you, Hideyoki Shibamoto. Thank you, Yoshiritu Shibayuya. Thank you, Akiko Morishita. Thank you, Yo Nakamura. Thank you, Yuchi Nakamura. Oh, family, I think, probably. Thank you, Hiroshi Miyagawa. Thank you, Nato Matsuka. Thank you, Umi Kusaka. Thank you, Hiroshi Osawa. Thank you, Takanori Tamaki. Thank you, Takeru Ishikawa. Thank you, Satoshi Ito. Thank you, Satoshi Ito. Thank you, Naotek Kanda. Thank you, Takashi Hishimoto. Thank you, Tsutomu Makioka. Thank you, Kentaro Mashimo. Thank you, Hiroki Tsukahara. Thank you, Tadahario Ito. Thank you, Tatsuya Yoko. Thank you, Kasuma Tomisawa. Thank you, Kazuki Fukuyo. Thank you, Yusuke Narita. Oh my god. I'm going to mispronounce so many of these names, but the message is clear. I'm thanking all of these people, okay? They deserve to be thanked! Thank you, Fumihiro Suzuki. Thank you, Tsubasa Fuyakawa. Thank you, Takayuki Kobayashi. Thank you, Mayu Yamamuro. Thank you, Tadashi Iguchi. Thank you, Kyo Yahage. Thank you, Katsuo Sasuki. Thank you, Takeshi Inui. Thank you, Kazuto Omo Nagashi. Thank you, Yohei Tamura. Thank you, Akihito Saba. Thank you, Kentaro Ikagami. Thank you, Kazunori Kubata. Thank you, Ryo Aisawa. Thank you, Miki Yakubi. Thank you, Yu Ito. Thank you, Shinataro Kiyota. Okay. Programming. Thank you. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna have to do it like this. Thank you, Katsumasi Hirachi. Thank you, Takanori Nakamura. Thank you, Tetsuya Otaguro. Thank you, Hayami Otani. Thank you, Koichi Watanabe. Thank you, Tomaki Kumasaka. Thank you, Soda Kagashima. Thank you Hidanori Shikabakua. Thank you Suguri Yokoyama. Thank you Yoshihito Nakasawaga. Thank you Shinobu Yamada. Thank you Mine Yuki Iwasaki. Thank you Shinki Kagawa. Thank you Satoshi Inagi. Thank you Yusuke Kodera. Thank you Takashi Hida. Thank you Hidaiki Ohishu. Thank you Yoshitsugo Makawa. Thank you Kazuya Watanabe. Thank you Kenichi Nakaguchi. I'm good. Thank you Takafumiki. Thank you Ryuki Oki. Thank you Takahiro Tanaki. Thank you Masaki Komatsu. Thank you Sangbei Nam. Thank you IG Iwata. Thank you Hiroaki Suzaki. Did I do this one? Takahiro. Yeah, I did. Thank you Kazuyoshi Aida. Thank you Kazuya Utsuno. Thank you Imaki Saiki. Damn, why did they mix and match these so weirdly? They sorted these so weird. Oh my god. Thank you Nabuki Suzuki. Thank you Nobuyuki Ashima. Thank you Hisayashi Soto. Thank you Ryonosuke Kirosaka. Thank you Naoto Takasawa. Thank you Toro Funakara. Thank you Urata Hanashima. Thank you Tatsuya Tamaru. Thank you Motoaki Isobe. Thank you Kunihiro Takagi. Thank you Tako Sakai. Thank you Takeharu Komasakai. Thank you Sagi Aisawa. Thank you Yosuko Kuroda. Thank you Hiroshi Tamara. Thank you Masatoshi Sato. Thank you Toshiaki Wada. Thank you Takahiro Nosawa. Thank you Yoshi Takamada. Thank you Yasuyoshi Okita. Thank you Tatsuya Nosaki. Thank you Yuki Nakamura. Thank you Yuji Nakahashi. Thank you Hideo Kawamura. Thank you Tatsuya Funatsu. Thank you Shihohei Yamaguchi. Thank you Yoshiaki Nakamura. Thank you Naomi Matsunobe. Thank you Yunchi Mibe. Thank you Naoya Thank you Naoya Kobayashi. Thank you Hideyuki Fukada. Thank you Katsuhiro Nomura. Thank you Hiroyuki Kobayashi. Thank you Morio Inuzaka. Thank you Yuzuke Murakami. Thank you Akari Kitahara. Thank you Yoshiki Domae. Thank you Kenji Saito. Thank you Kaichi Maizawa. Thank you Takahiri Fukada. Thank you Ryo Kojima. Thank you Tomoya Hasagawa. Thank you Kaita Noto. Thank you Tatsunori Ishibashi. Thank you Akihiro Nakamaru. Thank you Masahida Kawashimi. Thank you Shigeru Kitsutaka. Thank you Ryosuke Ohata. Thank you Shio Ahomatsu. Thank you Kotaro Mori. Thank you Hiro Sato Funaki. Thank you Ryuichi Isawa. I'm making them go all the way to the left of the screen so I don't mess the order up. I'm sorry. Thank you Yun Takayama. Thank you Yuki Matsumoto. Thank you Masaki Iwabuchi. Thank you Masakasu Yorifuji. Thank you Takashi Nakagawa. Did I say this one? Or whatever, I'll say it again. Thank you, Masaku Kasayori Fuji. Yeah, I did. Thank you, Naoki Matsura. Thank you, Tatsunori Kawanawi. Thank you, Tadashi Ketaya no Naga. Thank you, Mitsushige Tomari. Thank you, Takeki Takahashi. Thank you, Takashi Asai. Thank you, Tonoyuki Toya. Thank you, Takuya Ben. Thank you, Kenji Fukasawa. Thank you, Mitsuri Kishikawa. Thank you, Hiro. Okay, I'm at the end. Thank you, Hiroyuki Tsunoda. Thank you, Shigefumi Nakahara. Thank you, Shatora Tsatsumi. Thank you, Shinya Sudai. Thank you, Juji Joneta. Thank you, Koji Nomura. Thank you, Yuki Hirata. Thank you, Yuti Sumi. Thank you, Yunji Sadai. Thank you, Shota Takamura. Thank you, Kasaki Usami. Thank you, Yuto Arita. Thank you, Toshikinu Osakai. Did I say this one? Thank you, Junji Sendai. Thank you, Tsuyoshi Okagawa. Thank you, Kiyatoka Shikiroki. Thank you, Toshikuni Osakai. I said that one. Whatever. Thank you, Yuto Arita. Thank you, Michiru Nakata. Oh, Lord. Okay. Why do the names overlap? What? Okay. Character modeling. Thank you, Tadashi Sato. Thank you, Goshi Watanabe. Thank you, Kato Ashiyai. Thank you, Kenichi Ito. Thank you, Tomoku Imura. Thank you, Yuki Kano. Thank you, Masutsugi Furusawa. Okay. Thank you, Kensuke Takahashi. Thank you, Satoku Kojima. Thank you, Takaharu Tanaka. Thank you, Riko Niwa. Thank you, Misaki Imawi. Thank you, Shizuka Shinoni. Thank you, Jen Kawakoshi. Thank you, Yusuke Sakata. Thank you, Takayuki Abe. Thank you, Masaya Okuda. Thank you, Yutaka Sakamu. Thank you, Yotomi Nageshi. Thank you, Makio Yabara. Thank you, Hideo Yoshi. Thank you, Kazuki Fujimoto. Thank you, Sachio Awata. Thank you, Shuhan Goya. Thank you, Artist Xiong. Thank you, Men Lai. Thank you, Jerome Lim. Thank you, Jocelyn Lowe. Thank you, Takashi Ochiai. Thank you, Masafumi Shigiyuma. Thank you, Yu Kasahara. Thank you, Kosuke Wakamori. Thank you, Takashi Tsutsaki. Thank you, Kenichi Tanakawa. Thank you, Haijime Sasuke. Thank you, Yaishi Sakamoto. Thank you, Shijo Endo. Thank you, Shoutaro Sakamoto. Thank you, Takeshi Sakamoto. Thank you, Yuya Kimura. Thank you, Kazami Yamagishi. Thank you, Masaya Tamano. Thank you, Tatsuo Kuwabara. Thank you, Yoshihiro Maruyama. Thank you, Minori Koga. Thank you, Wataru Masada. Thank you, Mayumi Nakayama. Thank you, Natsuki Nakamura. Thank you, Ayaka Kaneko. Thank you, Masaya Kiriyama. Thank you, Akihiko Tanaka. Thank you, Tatsuya Shimamura. Thank you, Yuri Suga. Thank you, Shisoato Fujita. Thank you, Mai Takai. Okay, stage modeling. Okay, kind of split on this one. Does it stay split? Okay, yeah, it stays split. Alright, let's just go left side first, then right side. Thank you, Yukihiro Taniguchi. Thank you, Taku Matsuda. Thank you, Megumi Kagisaki. Thank you, Shijo Kamiyama. Thank you, Daisuke Katoaka. Thank you, Shiharu Motoyama. Thank you, Kazuhiro Kaneko. Thank you, Mami Takata. Thank you, Kazuhiro Satoi. Thank you, Yuchi Sanuki. Thank you, Akahiro Kaneko. Thank you, Nobuhito Yamamoto. Thank you, Ryochi Okubo. Thank you, Ayuma Thank you, Ayumi Oh my fuck. Thank you, Ayumi Kikuta. Thank you, Kaiji Kojima. Thank you, Pikchin. Thank you, Pikchin Chong. Sorry. Thank you, Hideki Sato. Thank you, Ryo Inomata. Thank you, Koichi Wakamutsa. Thank you, Yuta Ishikawa. Alright, now left side. Thank you, Yoshinori Wagatsuma. Thank you, Tomoko Tomita. Thank you, Kaichi Kiroto. Thank you, Natsuyo Kito. Thank you, Mami Tsuko. Thank you, Ryota Mori. Thank you, Miku Fiji. Thank you, Shikako Sujasui. Thank you, Masaya Ano. Thank you, Hiroyuki Hoshono. Thank you, Hiromi Yokokawa. Thank you, Kiyotaka Uji. Thank you, Taishi Ahagon. Thank you, Satoka Shimizu. Thank you, Carlson Woon. Thank you, Monica Lee. Thank you, Koichi Arisaka. Thank you, Kasanori Yurahari. Thank you, Yoshihiro Iwata. Thank you, Yasumi Tamura. Okay, effects design. That's not a lot. Thank you, Natsuko Taki. Thank you, Ai Hatano. Thank you, Tomohori Takai. Thank you, Takahiko Kakefuda. Thank you, Shu Takanaka. Thank you, Mika Ikagami. Thank you, Toshiyuki Hashimoto. Thank you, Ai Takabayashi. Thank you, Takamutsu Nakamura. Thank you, Akara Tomuno. Thank you, Sayaka Fujino. Thank you, Kazuya Makinose. Thank you. Oh god. Thank you. Thank you, Keijiru Kusanagi. Thank you, Yoshiniro Matana. That was not a lot. Alright, UI design. Thank you, Takeshi Azuma. Thank you, Mishoko Sakurai. Thank you, Namami Ishikawa. Thank you, Ryo Kimura. Thank you, Kaji Tarushi. Thank you, Hideoma Hashima. Thank you, Masaharu Okada. Thank you, Naoi Yusawa. Thank you, Yuji Adamura. Thank you, Shiharu Suzaki. Thank you, Yazuko Kojima. Thank you, Masanori Kimura. Thank you, Minori Kubota. Thank you, Misa Kamijima. Thank you, Takehide Muto. Thank you, Shigeo Lira. Thank you, Satoshi Miyazawa. Thank you, Yuki Hino. Alright, character artwork. 9 people? Really? Wow. I mean, it's only like 59 characters. Maybe like Master Hand and stuff too, but... Thank you, Daigi Okumura. Thank you, Taga Shigiyama. Thank you, Kaiki Ishabashi. Thank you, Kayoru Nakajima. Thank you, Masako Saito. Thank you, Masaya Fukasawa. Thank you, Hiroshi Azai. Thank you, Lee Shioi. Thank you, Shunji. Alright, design management. That's also not a lot. Thank you, Naomiki Yanagashawa. Thank you, Masahiki Kuba. Thank you, Takanori Aikisawa. Thank you, Yoshinobu Shimada. Thank you, Kantaro Yokawaka. Thank you, Yasuyuki Koburi. Okay. Character motion design. Oh, not this again. Not this again, dude. Thank you, Yasuki Naito. Thank you, Yoshihashi Yaguchi. Thank you, Takahito Mabuchi. Thank you, Norikatsu Yoshikiwa. Thank you, Nobuhiro Nakamoto. Thank you, Masahiko Aizawa. Thank you, Kari Sato. Thank you, Ryoji Aikida. Thank you, Tomo Hirata. Thank you, Yoshiyuki Nemoto. Thank you, Tomofumi Mizonu. Thank you, Yoshioru Kaneko. Thank you, Tetsuya Kono. Thank you, Ritaro Okamoto. Thank you, Taisuke Ito. Thank you, Go Motoyama. Thank you, Hiroyuki Hatsanaka. Thank you, Takamasa Nakada. Thank you, Aisuke Sagawa. Thank you, Daiki Higano. Thank you, Hironori Yamaguchi. Thank you, Mariko Yoshida. Thank you, Eriko Yamada. Thank you, Shiharu Hajima. Thank you, Sayori Ogiya. Oh. Thank you, Kasuya Fujinami. Thank you, Kiyoshi Kunimori. Thank you, Shogo Fujihara. Thank you, Tagashiro Koizumi. Thank you, Mikago Arumi. Thank you, Yuki Ishida. Thank you, Masami Owaki. Thank you, Isamu Sawada. Thank you, Tomokazu Yoshida. Thank you, Masakazu Tagawa. Thank you, Shijoi Nakamura. Thank you, Yoshiakira Nakono. Thank you, Nami Osaku. Thank you, Hirafume Hori. Thank you, Nobuyuki Mijai. Oh my lord. Music composition. This must also... Wow, I was about to say this must be a lot, but no, never mind. Junichi Nakatsuru Kaiki Kobayashi. Oh fuck, I forgot to say thank you. Thank you, Yonishi Nakatsura. Thank you, Kaiki Kobayashi. Thank you, Hiroki Hashimoto. Thank you, Hiroyuki Kawada. Thank you, Torin. No last name? Okay. Thank you, Torin. Thank you, Landai Aichu. With a dash. Thank you, Yoshinori Hirai. Alright, music arrangement. This must be a lot. Wow. Thank you, Ace Tomori Kudi. Thank you, Ace, which is Tomori Kudo Chiko. Thank you, Atsuko Azai. Thank you, Masato Koda with what? Thank you, Masato Koda with Ririka. Thank you, Ryo Hamamoto. Thank you, Mashishi Hamauzu. Thank you, Azuka Hayazaki. Thank you, Taku Inoi. Thank you, Azaku Ito. Thank you. Some of these are so long, this is gonna be so weird, difficult to keep pausing like this. Thank you, Koji Hayama. Thank you, Niroyuki Iwadari. Thank you, Height plus Height, which is Hideki Ishaga and Hideki Anua. Thank you, Shota Kagayama. Thank you, Akari Kaida. Thank you, Hirokazu Koshio. Thank you, Koji Kondo. Legend Koji Kondo right there. I'm probably gonna repeat a lot here. I'm sorry for that. Thank you, Kochi Hayama. Thank you, Kenji Ito. Thank you, Maki Kiroka. Thank you, Noriyuki Iwadare. Thank you Manaka Kotaka. Thank you Maki Kiroka. Alright. Thank you Daisuke. Alright. Thank you Daisuke Matsuoka. Thank you Toru Minagashi. Thank you Jisam with no last name. Thank you Jisam. Thank you Yuji Masabuchi. Thank you Yuso Koshiro. Thank you Manami Kiyota. Thank you Mishiko Naruke. Thank you Kaiji Okabe. Thank you Ryo Nagamutsu. Thank you Yasunori Mitsuda. Thank you Yoko Shimomura. Thank you Tetsuya Shibata. Thank you Tsukasa Masuko. Thank you Hideki Sakamoto. Thank you Hiroshi Okubo. Thank you Manabu Namiki. Thank you Yusuke. Thank you Yusuke Takahama. Thank you Kota Takahashi. I really don't want to miss anyone. Thank you Katsuro Tajima. Thank you Toshiyuki Sudo. Whatever. Thank you Manabu Namiki. Thank you Shojai Tsuchiya. Thank you Kazumi Totoka. Thank you Motoi Sakuraba. Thank you Kumi Tanioka. Thank you Hirokazu Tanaki X. What? Okay. Thank you X. Thank you Hajime Wakai. Thank you Masafumi Takada. Thank you Kenji Yamamoto. Thank you Michiri Yaman. Thank you Tobuko Toda. Thank you Yuka Tsuyoko. Thank you Mahito Yokata. Thank you Ryo Watanabe. Oh my lord, these Japanese names, dude. Oh my god. Okay, sound effects, which is with pillars again. Not a lot either. Thank you Saki Kasuga. Thank you Tomomitsu Kaneko. Thank you Junichi Funada. Thank you Etsuyo Ishii. Thank you Mitsuki Yamamoto. Thank you Yoshinori Kawamoto. Thank you Shiharu Hagawara. Thank you Yoshihito Yano. Thank you Shoji Hijama. Thank you Kaigo Yuramochi. Thank you Shiori Miyazaki. Oops. Sound technical support. Thank you Yoshihiro Kurahata. Thank you Hiroto Fushihime. Thank you Hiroaki Kubota. Thank you Hiroyuki Hirashi. Thank you Minamo Takahashi. Thank you Kunio Yamaguchi. Thank you Kaigo Tanaka. Thank you Tsuyoshi Yoshimoto. That guy has Yoshi in his name twice. Tsuyoshi Yoshimoto. Thank you. Thank you Tetsukazu Nakanashi. Thank you. Alright, one person, one people. Sound recording support. Thank you Takanori Goto. Alright, character voices, voice actors, some actual English names probably, hopefully. Thank you Jason Atkins. Thank you Achim Berenstein. Thank you Jean-Marc Delhasu. Thank you Tenia Emery. Thank you Luigi Fantino. Thank you Javier Fernandez Pena. Thank you Alessia Glidewell. Thank you Christoph Hespel. Thank you Adam Howden. Thank you Gerhard Yoka. Thank you Kerry Kane. Thank you Corinne Kempa. Thank you Dina Curtin. What's that effect there? Whatever. Thank you Dina Curtin. Thank you Rochelle Lilies. Thank you Jonathan Lopez. Thank you Charles Martinet. Thank you, Charles Martinet, the living legend, the one and only voice actor for Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, and possibly some others. Thank you, you living legend. Thank you, Hikaru Midorakawa. Thank you, Lani Minella. Thank you, Jun Mishisawa. Thank you, Eric Newsom. Thank you, Renato Novara. Thank you, Pilar Orti. Thank you, Lara Parmiani. Thank you, Akira Sazunuma. Thank you, Luke Smith. Thank you, Mark Stachel. Thank you, Billy Thompson. Thank you, Mike Fug. Thank you, Fuck. Thank you, Mike West. Thank you, Jess Adams. Scared the shit out of me. Thank you, Ben Cullum. Thank you, Riley Ingy. Thank you, Steve Malpass. Thank you, Matt Merker. Thank you, Jay Ward. Thank you, Hisao Agawa. Thank you, Anari Katsu. Thank you, Stephanie Komure. Thank you, Tarukude. Thank you, Ricciardo Lombardo. Thank you, Benoit Dupac. Thank you, Patrick Setz. Thank you, Kirk Thornton. Thank you, Yuli Basics. What? Basics. I really don't know how to pronounce a C followed by a Q followed by a Z. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna try. Thank you, Yuli Baskus. I'm really sorry. Maybe it's just Bask. Thank you, Caroline Combrick. Thank you, Tobias John Freyend. Thank you, Michelle oh my god, what is this? Thank you, Michelle Hinderix. Thank you, Unosho Ishizuka. Thank you, Elizabeth Von Coach. Thank you, Satomi Korogi. Thank you, Leslie Vanessa Lil. Thank you, Fabani Loraix. Thank you, Oliver Mink. Thank you, Hitomi Nabatame. Thank you, Haven Pascal. Thank you, Sonja Rachel. Thank you, Erica Schroeder. Thank you, Tim Schwartzheimer. Thank you, Yuka Terashaki. Thank you, Yuji Aida. Thank you, Tom Wayland. Thank you, Scott Williams. Thank you, Frenesk Ansume. Oh my god, that's a long one. Now on to the other half. Thank you, Laura Bailey. Thank you, Frederick Clow. Thank you, Virginie Demise. Thank you, Dan Falcone. Thank you, Jen Four. Thank you, Alexandre Gillette. Thank you, Benedict Gutjai. Thank you, Ryo Horikawa. Thank you, Michelle Hulsman. Thank you, Sylvia St. Johnson. Sylvia St. John. Thank you. Thank you, Sam Kelly. Thank you, Brandy Cop. Thank you, Lauren Landa. Thank you, Carlos Lobo. Thank you, Mark Lund. Thank you, Sachi Matsumoto. Thank you, Chin Ichiro Miki. Thank you, Hironori Miyata. Thank you, Xander Mobus, the announcer, actually, for this game, which is awesome. Thank you, Xander Mobus. Thank you, Giovanni Noto. Thank you, Makigo Ohomoto. Thank you, Ikuge Tani. Thank you, Saiti Sagayan. Thank you, Sean Schemmel. Thank you, Roger Craig Smith. That's just 3 names. Thank you, Yuja Takazawa. Thank you, Yosuke Torimi. Thank you, David Vincent. Thank you, Lisa Brony. Thank you, Wayne Forrester. Thank you, Rufus Jones. Thank you, Dex Manley. Thank you, Chris Saver. Thank you, Manel Gimeno. Thank you, Yu Kobayashi. Thank you, Akigo Komoto. Thank you, Klaus Lochtve. Thank you, Akio Ochitsuya. Thank you, Sarah Rates. Thank you, Tomo Kazu Sugita. Thank you, Delphine Schraver. Thank you, Tibat Delmot. Thank you, Michael Kaigni. Thank you, Katharina. Thank you, Katharina Lokobescu. Thank you, Michelle Knotts. Probably a silent K. Thank you, Katsuyuki Konoshi. Thank you, Anki Core Timer. Thank you, Michelle Liskio. Thank you, Susie Myers. Thank you, Kenta Miyaka. Thank you, Lisa Ortiz. Thank you, Jamie Peacock. Thank you, Megumi Sato. Thank you, Patrick Schroeder. Thank you, Eileen Stevens. Thank you, Mark Thompson. Thank you, Jean Michael Vovk. Thank you, Angela Wiederhut. Thank you, Koichi Yamadera. Thank you, Tim Watson. Oh my lord, that was a lot. Okay, my camera's battery is about to die, so that's pretty unsettling. AOC character voice. Thank you, Kaiji Fujiwara. Thank you, Yun Kuguyama. Thank you, Kyle Herbert. Thank you, Takahiro Sakurai. Thank you, Cam Clark. Thank you, Marcella Lance Pope. Thank you, Helene Taylor. Voice recording management. Thank you, Katsuhiko Iwama. Alright, text writing. That must have been a lot. There are so many goddamn tips in the loading screens, dude. Alright, thank you, Akihito Toda. Thank you, Tatsuku Manabe. Thank you, Daisuke Mitsui. Thank you, Nayuki Kishigawa. Thank you, Genki Togawa. Thank you, Yohai Yamano. Yep. There it goes. Yep, my camera just died. It's out of battery. Actually, while my battery is charging, I'm going to take a small break because I've been timing how long I've been recording this, and I'm currently at 52 minutes and 23 seconds. So I'm gonna take a break real quick. I will remember that I'm at movie. I won't forget that because it's only one person. Or just remember that the first green one, Anima Inc., I'm over there. I'm at this guy's name, okay? According to something I have, I'm about halfway through. So this is a good break point. I don't want to do half of this without a camera, so I'm real quick going to let my camera battery charge and just play Splatoon or something in the meantime. And we're back, baby! I just looked at myself in the camera, and let's not do that! We are back. It is 2 hours later. My camera... Well, I think it's 2 hours. According to my computer, it's been 4 hours, but it's not. I looked at the clock, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours later, my battery is at a good time to charge. It's at full battery, so let's just continue. We left off at movie, at Mr. Mazaru. Let's wait on the mispronunciations for a little bit. And let's just get going again. Thank you, Masaru Tsuyama. Thank you, Takayuki Shigekawa. Thank you, Tomohisa Ishikawa. Thank you, Kazuo Mitsuyama. Thank you, Tatsuya Takahashi. Thank you, Naoki Kumasawa. Thank you, Shogo Nishiyama. Thank you, Mika Obama. Oh. Thank you, Mika Oba. I really don't know why I said Obama. Thank you, Manabu Isono. Thank you, Toru Okasawa. Thank you, Yuki Oshiyama. Thank you, Teka Arpornko. What? Thank you, Teka Arpornko Sakonchai. Thank you, Kai Yonesuka. Thank you, Daisuke Chonan. Thank you, Rumi Sakairi. Thank you, Takeshi Negasawa. Alright. What? Spooky Graphic Modeling Cafe Incorporated. Do I need to thank these two? Whatever. I feel like I do need to thank the green ones. Alright, well then. Thank you, Anima Incorporated. Thank you, Spooky Graphic. Thank you, Modeling Cafe Incorporated. Thank you, Digital Frontier Incorporated. Oh, it's a long one. Dang it. Okay. Thank you, Yusaku Toyoshima. Thank you, Yohai Shimosawa. Thank you, Koji Motoike. Thank you, Eri Akasawa. Thank you, Yasutaka Akama. Thank you, Eriko Abe. Thank you, Gaku Abe. Thank you, Hayato Abe. Thank you, Saki Liyama. Thank you, Tomoko Ikigame. Thank you, Naoto Ikada. Thank you, Yukari Ishigama. Thank you, Toshio Ishida. Thank you, Kiyoshi Ishamaru. Thank you, Kensaku Ishiyama. Thank you, Takuma Izumida. Thank you, Gen Ito. Thank you, Saki Ito. Thank you, Hayato Imatsuyi. Thank you, Tomomi Iwabuchi. Thank you, Nobutaka Imoto. Thank you, Shuji Osawa. Thank you, Saishiko Okada. Thank you, Iom Daim. Thank you, whatever. Thank you, Takamasa Kanai. Thank you, Yumiko Kano. Thank you, Takashi Kamakawa. Thank you, Satoshi Kawaguchi. Thank you, Yasushi Kawamura. Thank you, Shinhan Yu. Thank you, Ryo Kanda. Thank you, Kim Sol. Thank you, Kim Hyok Jin. Thank you, Gualame Riondel. Thank you, Kasuki Kuno. Thank you, Misa Kumai. Thank you, Tomoko Kurahara. Thank you, Yoshiara Komiya. Thank you, Ryo Koyama. Thank you, Satoshi Jonomkami. Thank you, Jin Saito. Thank you, Hiroki Sakano. Thank you, Ko Sakurai. Thank you, Suguru Sato. Thank you, Noriki Sato. Thank you, Shuri Sawada. Thank you, Kai Shiozawa. Thank you, Jang Myung Hun. Thank you, Hyunki Cho. Thank you, Shinya Zazuki. Thank you, Nobuhiri Suzuki. Thank you, Takashi Seki. Thank you, Wataru Sensaki. Thank you, Kaisuke Takahashi. Thank you, Kaigo Takaya. Thank you, Yo Young Ho. Thank you, Takahashi Nagata. Thank you, Moshiru Toma. Thank you, Ryo Tomomura. Thank you, Yosuke Toyoyama. Thank you, Naoya Nishikubo. Thank you, Asami Nishiyama. Thank you, Tetsuya Nosoawa. Thank you, Yuki Haratake. Thank you, Tsubasa Harikai. Thank you, Han Dongyeon. Thank you, Tayuki Fuji. Thank you, Yukinobo Fujimatsu. Thank you, Shun Funahashi. Thank you, Masimalio Puliro. Thank you, Takahashi Masunaga. Thank you, Takahiro Matsui. Thank you, Shingo Matsuyama. Thank you, Shinokusuke Matano. Thank you, Ryota Minoto. Thank you, Tomonori Miyakawa. Thank you, Masahiro Mushikami. Thank you, Shota Miriguchi. Thank you, Kensuke Morita. Thank you, Atsushi Morimoto. Thank you, Hiroshi Yamada. Thank you, Koichi Yukimoto. Thank you, Liao Wei Liang. Thank you, Yakayuki Yanagisawa. Thank you, Aya Yuhari. Thank you, Shiaki Watanabe. Alright, another green one. Thank you, Digital Media Lab Incorporated. Thank you, Manabu Yoshida. Thank you, Junichi Kanzaki. Thank you, Shigeru Araki. Thank you, Jun Ishizaka. Thank you, Noboru Hayashi. Thank you, Takuma Tominaga. Thank you, Toshiharu Tatayama. Thank you, Yui Ito. Thank you, Chim Waishing. Thank you, Lee Chihan. Thank you, Takayu Mirowaki. Thank you, Gaku Takahashi. Thank you, Shota Yamamoto. Thank you, Toshiharu Yuda. Thank you, Ataru Yamada. Thank you, Akira Kawasaki. Thank you, Kyoko Araki. Thank you, Satoko Moriyama. Thank you, Kunitaka Sato. Thank you, Akito Okamoto. Thank you, Naoki Matsumoto. Thank you, Shaft Incorporated. Wow. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mitsutoshi Kubota. Thank you, Kuji Tanua. Thank you, Hiroki Yamamura. Thank you, Akihisha Takono. Thank you, Akikomori. Thank you, Kasuya Shiotsuki. Thank you, Yoshiaki Ito. Thank you, Hitoshi Hibino. Thank you, Motoki Sakai. Thank you, Shinchiru Ito. Alright. Thank you, Sayama Editing Room. Thank you, Sony PCL Incorporated. Thank you, Ri Matsubara. Thank you, Nobihiro Hishama. Thank you, Minori Incorporated. Thank you, Yumondu Incorporated. Thank you, Motoki Amano. Thank you, Mayumi Fujita. Thank you, Wombat. Thank you, Rina Takanawa. Thank you, Miho Sekimoto. Thank you, Takayoshi Hayashi. Thank you, Hidonori Inami. Thank you, Yochihiru Hatayama. Thank you, Yasutoshi Iwasaki. Thank you, Hidenobu Iwata. Thank you, Miyako Nishida. Thank you, Tomohiri Kamatani. Thank you, Kanta Suzuki. Thank you, Motohiko Kurihara. Thank you, Yuji Miyashita. Thank you, Shigeki Tsunada. Thank you, Ryo Imamura. Thank you, Yukihiro Miyamoto. Thank you, Hideyuki Moroika. Alright, technical support. That's also probably going to be a lot of people. Oh god. Thank you, Hiroyuki Kato. Thank you, Naotaka Kanada. Thank you, Tsuyoshi Achira. Thank you, Ryu Taro Osifune. Thank you, Ryo Takahashi. Thank you, Kana Ishikawa. Thank you, Kai Yamamoto. Thank you, Akiyoshi Miyasu. Thank you, Tomoatsu Nagafuji. Thank you, Kazuyuki Ishida. Thank you, Hiroshi Momose. Thank you, Soichi Yamamoto. Thank you, Yasuhiro Tokunaga. Thank you, Shuhei Furukawa. Thank you, Yuta Arai. Thank you, Yuta Ogawa. Thank you, Shinjo Okamoto. Thank you, Toru Inage. Thank you, Hiro Tage Matsushita. Thank you, Kiyohai Minato. Thank you, Kenji Matsumoto. Thank you, Tomohiro Yamamura. Thank you, Hiroaki Gohara. Okay, that wasn't that many people actually. UI design, support Project Lumen. I never heard of Project Lumen before. Thank you, Masahiro Yoshida. Thank you, Masuyuki Shimizi. Thank you, Ryoshi Sakamoto. Thank you, Masumi Yamamoto. Thank you, Akira Shinosaki. Fuck. I was holding that in during those 5 names. Oh god. Network system development. Thank you, Takamitsu Akita. Thank you, Takeshi Kawasaki. Thank you, Takayuki Hama. Thank you, Taketo Kono. Thank you, Miki Murakami. Alright, network support. Thank you, Yuya Ono. Thank you, Yoshiniro. Thank you, Takata. Thank you, Masayushi Miromoto. Thank you, Kenji Tanaka. Virtual console. Is that the masterpieces? Thank you, Osamu Yamuchi. Thank you, Masahiro Oku. Thank you, Kenji Matsumoto. Thank you, Toshihiro Nishi. North American localization. Management. Thank you, Leslie Swan. Thank you, Nate Bildorf. Thank you, Rinch Amtower. Thank you, Raiko Ninomija. Thank you, Tim O'Leary. Thank you, Danny Olsen. Thank you, Scott Ritchie, localization. Thank you, Camilo Alba. Thank you, Navarro. Wait, what? Thank you, Camilo Alba Navarro. Thank you, Michael Berry. Thank you, Helene. What the hell? Looks like a face. Thank you, Helene Bison Pellant. Thank you, David Carrasco. Thank you, Billy Carroll. Thank you, Dave Cassipete. Thank you, Raymond L. Allegiate. Thank you, Kristen Groth. Thank you, Kristen Kirby. Thank you, Ann Lynn. Thank you, Yoriko Marusic. Thank you, Caesar Paris. Thank you, Eric Smith. Thank you, Scott Wilson. European localization. These people are really good to me because I'm from Europe. I wouldn't have gotten this game without these people. Localization coordinators. Thank you, Palma Sanchez de Mojo Rodriguez. Thank you, Sebastian Faber. Thank you, Theodorus No! I'm so sorry! Oh my god! Thank you, Theodorus Spinas. I'm terrible. I'm so fucked. Theodorus. Thank you, Theodorus Spinas. Translation coordinator. Thank you, Daniela Braglia. Thank you, Gemma Gotch. English translators. Thank you, Sarah Bevan. Thank you, Philip Rubin. Thank you, Sivaran Edwards. Thank you, Benjamin Rafi. French translators. Oh no! Here come the other languages, guys. Thank you, Florence de Antilucius. Thank you, Jean-Paul Hussman. Thank you, Anthony Fugilin. Thank you, Pierre Gulalchimi. I never took French class. I'm sorry. German. Thank you, Fritjof Kup. Thank you, Veronika Hoffman. Thank you, Sebastian Bruck. Thank you, Gunnar Friedrich. Alright, Italian translators. Thank you, Adrino Antononini. Thank you, Eduardo Dot. Thank you, Guachomo Leching. Thank you, Miroko Kopelchi. What the hell? No, my cat just decided to start laying on my lap. Look, Zelda, I'm recording. Look. Can you see that? I'm recording. Can't you see that? Alright, whatever. You can chill on my lap. That's fine. Just hope she won't pick up anything on the mic. Spanish translators. Thank you, Jonathan Marcus Milan. Thank you, Alessander Filero Fernandez. Thank you, Ariel Rio de Angelis. Thank you, Miguel Rodriguez Ramos. Dutch translators. I'm Dutch. Watch me ace these translations. In Dutch. Here it comes. Dankjewel Saskia Dorgendocht. Dankjewel Mark Ambler. Dankjewel Christian Buter. Dankjewel Patrick Koudstaal. There we go. Russian translators. Thank you, Alexei Nigatin. Thank you, Tatjana Goreva. Thank you, Dmitry Kaluf. Thank you, Stanislav Bush. I'm really sorry. Thank Portuguese translators. Thank you, Ruji Mendes. Thank you, Anna Rice. Thank you, Bernardo Serpa. Thank you, Gonçalves Felibristro. Quality insurance. Thank you, Angel Moreno Colmena. Thank you, Stefan Lotz. North American Quality Insurance. Thank you, North American Quality Insurance. Communications coordinators. Thank you, Ayaja Takahashi. Thank you, Matthew Adams. Localization support. Thank you, Fumihiko Hayashi. Thank you, Shunsuke Matsuhita. Thank you, Charles Nishida. Thank you, Eric Redhans. Thank you, Michael O'Connor. Michael O'Connor? The Pokemon Company International. Okay, thank you, the Pokemon Company International. Thank you, Kenji Okubo. Thank you, Gaku Suzai. Thank you, Yasuhiro Usai. Thank you, Toshifumi Yoshida. Thank you, Hillary Thomas. Thank you, Noriko Nedley. Thank you, Yadasu Hasegawa. Thank you, Cyril Schultz. Thank you, Jay Blake. Thank you, Tepai Otsuya. Thank you, Anais Maniafel. Thank you, Julia Jackie. Thank you, Nicole Thomer. Thank you, Jesus Alvarez. Thank you, Patrick Riley. Thank you, Mark Riechwein. Thank you, Miguel Corti. Thank you, Kaori Funakoshi. Alright, testing. Thank you, Takeyuki Tsurumaki. Thank you, Yasaku Maruyo. Thank you, Yohai Takamori. Thank you, Takashi Seta. Thank you, Takashi Hatono. Thank you, Yuja Takushi. Thank you, Yunchi Jinmo Sakoda. Thank you, Etsuro Taijino. Thank you, Ayuta Kariya. Thank you, Kazuaki Kamikura. Thank you, Shutama Murakami. Thank you, Yusuke Goto. Thank you, Yuki Takahashi. Thank you, Kosuke Nakajima. Thank you, Yoshimasa Miyasawa. Thank you, Koji Obayashi. Thank you, Hidohiko Fukumara. Thank you, Ahi Lida. Thank you, Yuma Suzuki. Thank you, Yoshinao Baba. Thank you, Kiyohiro Kobayashi. Thank you, Akihito Nakamura. Thank you, Kaigo Suzuki. Thank you, Yoshiaki Uzato. Thank you, Sho Watanabe. Thank you, Kunio Kadota. Thank you, Yoshiyama Kumura. Thank you, Kohai Kasai. Alright. Thank you, Mario Club I think that stands for company. Thank you, Mario Club Company Ltd. I don't know what Ltd stands for, but thank you. Thank you, Kentaro Nishimura. Thank you, Kiyoshi Ishibiki. Thank you, Hitoshi Nishizawa. Thank you, Masashi Onishi. Thank you, Shota Watanabe. Thank you, Shinja Yano. Thank you, Tatsuya Kurihara. Thank you, Atsushi Tada. Thank you, Yasunori Shibayama. Thank you, Toshikazu. Thank you, Tanaka Tohiro Takahashi. Thank you, Jin Sugiyama Takeshi Saigo. Wait, did I say that as one name? Thank you, Jin Sugiyama. Thank you, Takeshi Saigo. Thank you, Narimasa Hakodate. Thank you, Hisashi Takisaki. Thank you, Shioshori Takeyoshi. Thank you, Takaki Ueno. Thank you, Ryotaro Hayashi. Thank you, Tasuku Mizuno. Thank you, Saitaro Torigu. Thank you, Nobaiku Maeda. Thank you, Aya Ninomiya. Thank you, Ikuri Matsuo. Thank you, Megumi Shano. Thank you, Shinpei Otoa. Thank you, Nobauki Tsuge. Thank you, Yoshi Isaka. Thank you, Norihiro Furutani. Thank you, Kazuyuki Murata. Thank you, Shota Koga. And thank you, Taiki Ise. North American Product Testing. Okay. Thank you, North American Product Testing. Thank you, Masayusa Nakata. Thank you, Randy Schumake. Thank you, Seth Hanser. Thank you, Andy Colden. Thank you, Jesse Nickel. Thank you, Scott Callahan. Thank you, Tomoko Mikami. Thank you, Anna Johnson. Thank you, Kendra Timmer Wilk. Thank you, Shannon J. Roberts. Thank you, Nico Gonzalez de Santiago. Thank you, Sarah Huat. Thank you, Stephanie Arlot. Thank you, Udolphic Teen Techu Ponkim. Alright. Thank you, Product Testing Technicants. Thank you, PTD Guideline Compliance. Thank you, Gene Pencil. Thank you, Sam Abuharp. Alright, testing support. Thank you, Akira Kinashi. Thank you, Kai Ninomija. Thank you, Kazuki Yoshihara. Thank you, Takaomi Ueno. Thank you, Toshikazu Jin. Thank you, Go Mimura. Thank you, Yualida. Thank you, Kazuki Kishita. Thank you, Saichi Yamaguchi. Alright, project management. Thank you, Kaiti Matsui. Thank you, IG Kobayashi. Alright, coordinators. Thank you, Kaori Miyachi. Thank you, Masahiro Shiotani, coordination support. Thank you, Ryonosuke Suzuki. Thank you, Kimiko Nakamishi. Thank you, Satoshi Kira. Thank you, Park Jong-hoon. Thank you, Tashiaki Suzuki. Thank you, Nurihito Ito. Alright, character coordination. Thank you, Tsuyoshi Watanabe. Alright. Supervisors original games, whatever that means. Oh, that's a long one. Oh my lord, that is a long one. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Izuki Nakano. Thank you, Yo Onishi. Thank you, Akiko Kato. Thank you, Shiharu Sakiyama. Thank you, Shiaki Aida. Thank you, IG Aonuma. IG Aonuma, the legend! Thank you, Toshiki Haruhana. Thank you, Satoru Takisawa. Thank you, Ryoji Kobayashi. Thank you, Kochi Takahashi. Thank you, Yoshi Sakamoto. Thank you, Yoshio Sakamoto. Thank you, Takayasu Mirosawa. Thank you, Kensuke Tanabe. Thank you, Risa Tabata. Thank you, Takaya Imamura. Thank you, Ko Takuchi. Thank you, Goro Abe. Thank you, Kaisuke Nishimori. Thank you, Katsuya Eguchi. Thank you, Isao Moro. Thank you, Tadashi Sugiyama. Thank you, Hiroshi Matsunaga. Thank you, Yoshiyuki Oyama. Thank you, Yoshiaki Koizumi. Thank you, Kenta Motokura. Thank you, Daisuke Watanabe. Thank you, Yoshihiko Matsuzaki. Thank you, Kazumi Yamamuchi. Thank you, Kazunori Yashimito. Thank you, Akai Samamoto. Thank you, Yuchi Ichio. Thank you, Makoto Wada. Thank you, Takashi Tezuka. Thank you, Hisashi Naogami. Thank you, Hitoshi Yamagami. Thank you, Genki Yokota. Thank you, Hideo Kono. Thank you, Kosuke Yabuki. Thank you, Yoshihisha Morimoto. Thank you, Masaki Ishikawa. Thank you, Masahiro Kawanishi. Thank you, Masanao Arimoto. Thank you, Yoshikazu Yamashita. Thank you, Takayuki Shimamura. Thank you, Daisuke Kageyama. Thank you, Hirotake Otsubo. Thank you, Toyokazu no Naka. Thank you, Kenta Uzui. Thank you, Nobuo Matsumiya. Thank you, Emi Watanabe. Thank you, Yurio Yamada. Thank you, Kiyoshi Mizuki. Thank you, Shinsaki Kato. Thank you, Ryoto Oiwa. Thank you, Yu Masaoko. Thank you, Hiroaki Takana. Thank you, Atsushi Miyagi. Thank you, Hiromu Takamura. Thank you, Yasuyuki Oyage. Thank you, Masanobu Sato. Thank you, Yuri Hattori. Thank you, Naoki Mori. Thank you, Kuchi Kawamoto. Thank you, Katsushi Kono. Thank you, Shinja Fujiwara. Thank you, Ryusuke Nitan. Thank you, Noriko Kitamura. Thank you, Masaru Nishida. Thank you, Tomoyoshi Yamane. Thank you, Kenshi Yugino. Thank you, Makoto Kano. Thank you, Takahiro Izushi. Thank you, Maso Yamamoto. Thank you, Ryuji Yoshitomo. Thank you, Taro Bando. Thank you, Hideki Shimizu. Thank you, Kenta Nagata. Thank you, Shiho Fuji. Thank you, Yasuaki Iwata. Thank you, Ikioto Nakatsuka. Thank you, Minako Hamamono. Thank you, Masaru Taima. Thank you, Masami Yon. Thank you, Shinobu Nagata. Thank you, Megumi Inoi. Thank you, Masanobu Yamamoto. Thank you, Shogo Sakai. Thank you, Tadashi Ikigami. Thank you, Hirokazu Endo. Thank you, Jun Ishikawa. Thank you, Satoshi Ishida. Thank you, Masayo Nakagami. Thank you, Yumiko Sano. Thank you, Junichi Masuda. Thank you, Ken Sugimori. Thank you, Tetsuya Watanabe. Thank you, Hiroyuki Jinai. Thank you, Atsuko Uji. Thank you, Shunsuke Uematsu. Thank you, Masataka Hata. Thank you, Masamashi Anasawa. Thank you, Takato Utsunomiya. Thank you, Shusaku Igami. Thank you, Shunsuke Kohiri. Thank you, Shofuru Tani. Thank you, Daiki Nagao. Thank you, Ryohei Itakura. Thank you, Mizushi Kanayama. Thank you, Mbiko Yoshino. Thank you, Kaichi Susaki, which for some reason takes up an entire row. Thank you, Toshio Sengoku. Thank you, Toru Niri Hiro. Thank you, Masahiro. I went a bit too far there. Thank you, Masahiro Higuchi. Thank you, Taku Sugioka. Thank you, Kenichi Nishimaki. Thank you, Daisuke Nakajima. Thank you, Ryota Kawada. Thank you, Masanobu Matsunaga. Thank you, Masayuki Horikawa. Thank you, Koji Maeda. Thank you, Toshiyuki. Thank you, Toshiyuki Kusakira. Thank you, Toshitaka Muramatsu. Thank you, Naoki Nahiko Ayoma. Thank you, Takako Sakai. Thank you, Hiroki Morishita. Thank you, Mai Watanabe. Thank you, Nami Kumuro. Thank you, Yoshito Sekagawa. Thank you, Kenshi Yamada. Thank you, Tsutomi Kitinashi. Thank you, Yuzuke Kozaki. Thank you, Takashi Lizuka. Thank you, Juji Ikawa. Thank you, Yazuyuki Hoshino. Thank you, Sachiko Kawamura. Thank you, Jin Shinue. Thank you, Hideki Naganuma. Thank you, Tomoya Otano. Thank you, Kenchi Tokoi. Thank you, Masato Nakamura. Thank you, Ryuji Higarashi. Thank you, Sho Okano. Thank you, Kazuhiro Tsuchiya. Thank you, Naoki Kudo. Thank you, Kunihisa. Kunihisa Yagashita. Thank you, Norihiko Takami. Thank you, Aiji Takahashi. Thank you, Takako Shijio. Who knew speaking could make you so tired? Wow, that's a lot of LTD. Actually, I'm gonna real quick look up what LTD stands for so I don't have to keep saying LTD. LTD stands for limited. It is a business entity structure in Europe, but only a description in the United States. Okay, it stands for limited. Whatever. Thank you, Arika Company Limited. Thank you, Osubism Company Limited. Thank you, Choice Provisions. Thank you, Gana Rion Company Limited. Thank you, Goodfield Company Limited. Thank you. I don't actually think I have to keep saying limited. I think I can just skip that part. I'm gonna skip that part. Thank you, Gresso Company. Thank you, Koei Tecmo Games Company. Thank you. I don't even think I have to say company. What the hell am I doing? Thank you, Kuji Entertainment. Thank you, Mistwalker Corporation. Thank you, Monster Games. Thank you, Next Level Games. Thank you, Pound Corporation. Thank you, Platinum Games. Thank you, Q Games. Thank you, Retro Studios. Thank you, Landlot. Thank you, Skip. Thank you, Toes. Thank you, Treasure. Thank you, Ubisoft Entertainment South America, I think, probably. Thank you, Fanpool. Thank you, Vitae. Okay, all Original Games staff. Thank you, all Original Games staff. Development Cooperation. Oh no, this is gonna be some very long names. Thank you, Orange Box. Thank you, Ritters. Thank you, SmartPoint. Thank you, Smart Technology. Thank you, Orca. Thank you, Agni Flare thank you Gotoron, thank you Fruit Seal, thank you Kadocal. Okay, here it comes. Thank you Imagashidagitalascape and Bajos Entertainment. Whew. Thank you Fruit Seal, thank you Gotoron, thank you Greek and River, thank you another one of those. Imigis, oh my lord, Imigasadi.
Imagica Digitalscape.
Thank you, Imagica Digitalscape. Thank you, Creek and River. Thank you, Smile Technology. Thank you, Cattle Call. Thank you, Brush Up Co. Thank you, Agni Flare. I think that's all of those. Thank you, Smile Technology United. Thank you, Brush Up. Thank you, Leverages. Thank you, Tribe. Thank you, Tri Crescendo. Thank you, Digital Hearts. Thank you, Edeco. Thank you, eSmile. Wait, is that all of them? Yeah, that's all of them. Okay, cool. I can just keep the screen then. Thank you, Cubist. Thank you, Pull to Win. Thank you, Jackalope Digital Factory. Thank you, Bandai Namco Studios Singapore, whatever PTE stands for. Thank you, Black Bandit Q Limited, spell out there for some reason. Thank you, Premium Agency. Thank you, Blisswind. Thank you, Shanteri. Thank you, Katsugekiza Incorporated Motion Actors Japan. Thank you, Opus Studio. Thank you, Lancars. Music and voice cooperations. Oh god, more of them. Oh, that's actually one page. Okay then. Thank you, Ancient Corp. Thank you, Design Wave. Thank you, Film Score LLC, whatever that stands for. Thank you, M2. Thank you, Manaka. Thank you, M's Factory. Thank you, Naruto 2. Thank you, Noisy Croak. Thank you, Noisy Croak. Thank you, Procyon Studio. Thank you, Sound Prestige. Thank you, Aoni Production. Thank you, Shogakukan Shueisha Production. Thank you, Target Entertainment. Thank you, Taito Sound Team. And I think thank you, Suntata. Thank you, Unique Note. And thank you, Ken Production Artwork. Okay, here it comes. Thank you, Ryoko Koizumi. Thank you, Hirokazu Matsui. Thank you, Yukihiko Hayashi. Thank you, Takashi Ito. Thank you, Yuka Kotaki. Thank you, Tekai Aura. Manual editing. Thank you, Aki Sakurai. Alright, special thanks. This is okay. I don't know. These are unspecified thanks, but they are special thanks. Thank you, Toru Yano. Thank you, Yashinari Mizushima. Thank you, Shigeki Tomishisawa. Thank you, Hiroyoshi Okabe. Thank you, Hideaki Otsu. Thank you, Fumihiro Yoshida. Thank you, Yohai Miura. Thank you, Yoichi Murakoshi. Thank you, Yu Otsuka. Thank you, Katsuhiro Ishii. Thank you, Takashi Yokoyama. Thank you, Makoto Ishii. Thank you, Shinji Ikeda. Thank you, Hiroaki Kawagu. Thank you, Akari Tanugichi. Thank you, Kuriumi Kobayashi. Thank you, Natsuko Kaneki. Thank you, Masaya Ushizuka. Thank you, Kazuhishi Nishimura. Thank you, Masafumi Mima. Thank you, Hirohi Heights Sugiara. Thank you, Tadashi Nomura. Thank you, Susumi Tanaka. Thank you. Oh, that's very high. Thank you, Etsushi Lizuka. Thank you, Arata Ito. Thank you, Kaizuki Terasaki. Thank you, Tomoaki Kurume. Thank you, Shin Hasagawa. Thank you, Kazayuki Gofuki. Kazayuki Gofuku. Gofuku? Shokofuku. Thank you, Yoshihiro Matsushima. Thank you, Katsuya Yamano. Thank you, Takumi Kawagu. Thank you, Teruki Merakawa. Thank you, Yukiko Furata. Thank you, Kaiji Kondo. Thank you, Yuki Okamoto. Thank you, Miko Hiro Ishikawa. Thank you, Daisuke Nakamura. Thank you, Yasunari Nishida. Thank you, Kiyoshiko Ando. Thank you, Aiko Hyuga. Thank you, Shin Aizawa. Thank you, Shin Aizawa Overa. Thank you, Takeshi Furuta. Thank you, Hiroaki Yamaguchi. Thank you, Takura Hanamoto. Thank you, Shigeru Yisahara. Thank you, Kenichi Asano. Thank you, Hiroya Arai. Thank you, Takeshi Kimura. Thank you, Yoshio Tsuboiki. Thank you, Satoru Shibata. Thank you, Takao Yamani. Thank you, All Nintendo. That's probably not a name, but thank you, All Nintendo. Senior Supervisors. Thank you, Nintendo. Thank you, Nintendo, the big boys. Thank you, Shigeru Miyamoto, you big boy. Oh, here are the big boys. Oh my lord. Thank you, Hell Laboratory. Thank you, Masayoshi Tanimura. Thank you, Game Freak. Thank you, Satoshi Tajiri. Thank you, Creatures. Thank you, Hirokazu Tanaka. Thank you, The Pokemon Company. Thank you, Tsunakazu Ishihara. All just juggernauts, dude. Thank you, Shigesato Itoi. Thank you, Ape. Thank you, Intelligence System, for bringing us 6 Fire Emblem characters. Thank you, Toshiyuki Nakamura. Thank you, Monolith Soft. Thank you, Monolith Soft, for making the best game ever and an amazing sequel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Monolith Soft and Tetsuya Takahashi. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Special collaboration. Thank you, Sega. Thank you, Hiroyuki Miyazaki. Thank you, Capcom. Thank you, Yoshinori Ono. Thank you, Bandai Namco Games. Thank you, Satoshi Oshita. Producers. Thank you, Shinja Saito. Thank you, Masaya Kobayashi. Alright, senior producers. I can't even speak anymore. Thank you, Toshiharu Izonu. Thank you, Takayuki Shindo. Thank you, Yasushi Omoru, general producers. Thank you, Shinja Takahashi. Thank you, Hajime Nakatani. Thank you, Shigeru Yokoyama. Exclusive. Oh, my heart, dude. Exclusive producers. Thank you, Satoru Iwata. Thank you, Satoru Iwata, for your legacy. May you rest in peace, sir. And that's it. Nintendo Sora, everyone are the authors of the software, and for their copies, all rights reserved. God.
Congratulations!
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sander Mobus. Oh, thank you. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord, dude. No, let's not look at that. Ugh! That's it! Give me a second, please. Ugh! Oh, I needed that. Oh my god. Ugh! Oh, that's no good. Why did I do that? 2 hours! 2 hours of mispronouncing names. A lot. I think, to everyone I just mentioned, I think I speak for millions of people, a lot of people, everyone watching right now. I think I speak for everyone when I say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for bringing us this amazing game. I cannot express my gratitude enough, and neither can anyone else. Okay? I speak for everyone when I just say, I don't even know what to say. It's just thank you so much, okay? Thank you so much for making this game! Ugh! Ugh! My throat really hurts. Wow. I just now noticed that I left on my color changing lights. These ones, which mess with my camera, but I am not about to record that second half again. Fuck that. Good night.